Hello friends, welcome back. My name is Jason, and I get asked a lot about forming mutual assistance groups, MAGs, prepper groups, whatever you want to call them. I think that it's something that people are more and more interested in as they start to feel more and more vulnerable with all of the chaos that's going on in the world at the moment. This awesome shirt that I'm wearing is a trust shirt, and I think wearing something like this shirt, and this is a shameless plug, by the way. We make these shirts, and if you want to help support a small business like mine, I'd be really, really grateful if you purchased one of these shirts. And it'll be a link in the description and possibly in the comment section if I remember to do it. But basically what this is a shirt that reminds us of the type of person that we want to be. Trust is the acronym that my wife and I developed. And really what it is just a group, a community of people that you can trust and you can rely upon each other if hard times should come upon you. I think the first place to start, the most important place to start, more important than anything else, is to start with yourself. What kind of person are you? You need to become the man that you want everyone around you to be. If you are an untrustworthy, lazy, selfish individual, and you expect everyone around you to be the opposite of that, it's not going to go well for you. You're not going to fit in with any of these groups. You're not going to be able to start any group that's in any count whatsoever. It ain't no count. That's what Granny used to say. Still says, actually. When we're talking about the true core of your mutual assistance group, or whatever we're calling it these days, it doesn't get any more to the core than your actual immediate family. Guys, quit dating around and sleeping around with people. Like, settle down, find a woman that you can live with and spend the rest of your life with. That's the person that you can count on. That's the person that you need when you break your leg and you can no longer get around, and you need them to help you do the daily things. Like, that's the biggest part of the mutual assistance group that's lacking in a lot of people's lives. They're spending all this time dating all these different girls, looking for whatever it is they're looking for, and they're failing to find the right one, because they are not the people that they want everyone around them to be. You're not going to find the perfect woman. She doesn't exist, except for my wife, of course. My wife is perfect in all ways, all shapes and forms. She is perfect and flawless in every way. She's a princess. Be the best husband that you can possibly be. You're going to mess up. You're going to screw up a lot. But be the best that you can possibly be. Start a family. Have kids. Raise those kids up to be part of this group that you're talking about. Raise your kids up to be who you want them to be. Mold them, shape them, spend quality time with them. That is going to be the biggest part of your mutual assistance group right there. If you don't have that, it's going to be, everything else is going to be tough. We want to meet people. We want to start talking to people, engage people in conversations, be open, be honest. And if someone needs help with something, volunteer to help them out. And if they are willing to reciprocate that kind of relationship, then you know that's probably somebody that you could potentially count on when times get tough. I think it's important to engage in training. I think it's important to suffer together, engage in difficult tasks, whether that be a big construction project or a weekend of roughing it in the woods. When you engage in mutual suffering with other individuals, of like-minded individuals, you create a really strong bond that can't be developed by watching a football game. You can't get that from going to the bar. It's not something that you're going to get from something that's easy and is not earned. Something that's challenging, a struggle, or a real adventure, something like that, where you can stand shoulder to shoulder with somebody and you can count on them and they can count on you. That is when real bonds are developed. So I encourage you to get outside, and I encourage you to challenge yourselves with other people. It's great going out by yourself and doing these types of things. going on weekend camping trips by yourself and doing the solo lone wolf stuff, and that's fine. I think that stuff's great, and I think it's important to do that as well, so you can know you can count on yourself and develop those types of skills. But much more important is developing that community, and developing community through hard work and difficult situations where you've tested each other and you know what each person's capable of, and you know their weaknesses as well. I think that's super important. So surrounding yourself with these types of people and just not living in your own bubble, your own cave. You don't go to work, you don't come home, close the doors, and not speak to anybody. Get out, talk to your neighbors a little bit, join a church, start shaking hands with people and asking questions, ask them about their lives. People want to talk about themselves a lot, So all you got to do is just start the conversation sometimes, and you just see where it goes from there. Trust your judgment, trust your instincts. Generally, I can usually tell within first meeting somebody whether they're going to be the type of person that I can count on, that I'd want in my small little circle, my circle of trust. If you trust your instincts, if you trust your judgment on those things, you'll be able to weed out a lot of individuals pretty quickly. Now, I'm not always saying that you can judge a book by its cover. That's not what I'm saying. Sometimes you got to dig a little bit deeper to see what people are all about. And some people have hidden potential that just maybe hasn't been tapped into yet. So I'm not saying just immediately shut somebody out if they seem a little bit off at first. So sometimes it takes a little bit for people to open up, and it's understandable, especially in our community where people are a little bit guarded and a little bit untrusting. Another good tactic is volunteering at local events, whatever that event may be, because those events are often filled with moral doers, people that want to do good things. And they're out actually being active in the community and trying to make the world a better place. And those are the type of people that you want. The people that stay home and sit on the couch and watch TV all day are not the type of people that are going to be helpful or going to be useful in this group that you're attempting to build and that you're attempting to form. And if you are interested in joining one of these types of groups, and that's what it's filled full of people that aren't doers. They're just hoarders, basically, buying a bunch of crap and stocking the shelves up to the ceiling with rice and beans and sitting on cases of ammo. If that's what they do and that's what they spend all their time doing, to me, that's not really a useful group. That's not a group of individuals that I want to be a part of. So I would say don't worry about numbers. I wouldn't say, go for broke and try to let everybody in that you can and build this giant, massive group of people, because people are problems. People start problems. They are the source of all the problems, and they're also the source of all the solutions. They're your biggest assets and your biggest liabilities at the exact same time. So I would be much more concerned with developing a group, a small, really small group of a few people, a few individuals, trusted individuals in your really close area. So a place, distances you can walk. That's what I'm talking about. So really close proximity to you. I would focus on building a network of very trusted individuals that you've spent years with. And this stuff takes time. It takes a long time to develop these kind of relationships. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes years to build these types of relationships. And there's going to be problems. There's going to be conflicts. There's going to be issues with relationships, regardless of what kind of relationship you're talking about. The key is to not give up, is to be persistent and be consistent and be willing to solve problems, to step in there and sometimes be the middleman, be that ombuds person that gets between that conflict and tries to resolve it. And sometimes there's no resolution, really. Sometimes parting ways is the best way to do it. But generally speaking, most problems, most conflicts can be resolved in some form or fashion. And if they can't, if there's an individual that's unwilling to compromise and unwilling to come to some sort of resolution because his feelings got hurt, then that's probably not somebody that you want in your group. So these are just all the things, all little details that I have come to realize from being in this kind of community. So having conversations with people and developing relationships with people is the way that you can figure out if they have similar values and beliefs as you. If they don't have similar values and beliefs, then it's going to be really difficult. It's really difficult to change people's minds. And if that's what you're just trying to do, is go around and change everybody's mind into believing what you believe, you're going to have a tough go at it. But if you can find those individuals that already are on kind of the same wavelength as you and already speaking the same language, that's going to set you up for success and make life much, much easier. And once you get this group formed, then you can start having an impact on the community around you, and then possibly start changing some minds and start steering people in a better direction. Changing people's minds is a difficult thing. So having arguments with people, trying to convince them to do whatever it is that you're doing or believe whatever it is you believe is usually a difficult, nearly impossible fight. All the people that argue on social media about everything, and all the Candace Owens out there, and all those people that are really witty and smart and really good at outthinking their opponents. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's entertaining to watch, but they're not really changing a lot of minds. The people that got something in my eyeball. But they're not really changing a lot of minds. They are the only people that watch them are the people that agree with them already, generally speaking. I'm speaking in generalities here. So you're not changing a lot of minds with those sort of tactics. And I think the way to change people's minds is by doing. It's not about talking. It's not about, getting them in an argument, getting one on them. It's not about that at all. I don't think that wins anybody over. It's about getting out there, doing something good, and then people seeing that you're doing something good. Leading by example, I think, is the key. So if you want to start some sort of mutual assistance group where you've got a close-knit group of individuals that you can count on, you need to start being that person, that moral doer, the guy that stands up for what's right and does what's right and is honest, is trustworthy, is a useful individual, has developed skills and knowledge that is helpful to a community. I think there's going to come a time in the near future where we are heavily reliant upon people in our community. And it's going to be much, much more difficult to form those relationships after hard times are upon us. Doing it now when times are good is definitely going to be the easier way to do it. I want to be the individual that shows up to a situation, whatever that situation may be, and people can relax a little bit. I want to be that guy that shows up no matter what, and they say, okay, phew, Jason showed up. We're good. He's going to help take care of this problem. And I think that's what we should all aspire to be. I'm not saying I am that guy. I'm not at all saying that that's the case, but that's what I aspire to be, and that's what I want to be more like. And I think we should all aspire to be like that. We want to be the guy that shows up and solves problems. Now, there's a lot of the can stacker groups out there. There's a lot of, I shouldn't say there's a lot. There's quite a few groups out there of people that just stack cans to the ceiling and might go to the shooting range once a year or so, something like that, and drink beer. And drink beer after the shooting range, hopefully. And there's a lot of groups out there, and a lot of those groups are going to fail because they don't have the right core. They don't have the solid foundation. They didn't start with a solid foundation of people that want to help other people. This is a shirt that reminds us of the type of person that we want to be. Trust is the acronym that my wife and I developed. First T in the acronym is for trustworthy. Are you a person that tells the truth? That seems like a no-brainer, but these days it's more and more difficult to find. R is for reliable. Do you show up when you say you're going to show up? Do you do what you say you're going to do? When someone calls you, do you show up to help? U is for useful. Do you possess useful skills and abilities and knowledge? Have you acquired those over years of hard work? S is for suitable. Do you possess the same values and beliefs as everybody in this group that you're attempting to form? And then the last one is T, and that's for teachable. Are you willing to admit that you don't know everything? Are you willing and able to accept information, knowledge, coaching from others, peers, or people that possibly know more about this stuff than you do? I think all of these attributes, these aren't the only ones obviously, but all of these attributes are really, really important. And wearing a shirt like this, something like this, will help spark some conversations potentially with like-minded individuals in your community that you didn't know even existed. So I'd really be grateful for the support. If you wanted to buy one of these t-shirts, I would be really, really grateful for that. Another really big one that's important and I think overlooked a lot is beware of the cool guy factor. It's a lot of people are led astray by individuals that have a lot of time downrange. They've got time overseas. And I'm not talking down upon any of these people. I'm just saying that just because a guy has skills and a guy has some knowledge and he's done some kung fu type things doesn't mean he's the type of individual that you can trust. He's not the type of individuals that are going to show up and do the things when times get tough. Might be capable of it, but doesn't mean that they're going to do it. So I'd say beware the cool guy. I would take a very small tribe of moral doers that are interested in just figuring life out, figuring out problems, solving problems, and have positive can-do attitudes. I would take those guys that are fairly unskilled. I would take them over the cool guys every single time. Thumbs up, guys. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. I'm Jason Salyer with Survival Dispatch. As a Survival Dispatch insider, you'll be able to gain the knowledge, the skills, and equipment necessary to protect your family when it really, really matters. They'll provide crucial information on such things as stockpiling food, medical necessities, communication plans. You will receive specific, actionable plans. You can deliver proven techniques to help you get home, shelter in place, or bug out safe.